Good morning, Ultimate Hustlers and Digital Empire Builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show, and today we're resuming our series on leadership, The Five Pillars of Leadership by Paul J. Meyer and Randy Slechta. It's been a great addition to my library, so I thought we review some of that. Today we're going to focus on the three foundational elements of effective leadership. So I want you to do me a favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand. Smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Local Biz Marketing Pro Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri, where we want to help local businesses optimize their online presence, increase their lead flow, grow their revenue so they can expand their operations and ultimately contribute more to the communities that they serve by way of hiring the people that live in the communities that they serve, particularly those businesses that are operating in and benefiting from the hard-earned dollars of Black people. So today we're talking about the five pillars of leadership. We started a series on this last Thursday. We're probably going to go about four or five parts in this series. Leadership is a principal thing, not just in business, but in everyday life. You've got to understand the principles and power of leadership, deploy them in your life, especially for those of you who are raising families. If you have a business, that's a plus. If you're in corporate, leadership is the principal thing. So do me a favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and rate yourself as a leader on a scale of 1 to 10. When you think about your overall leadership skills, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you are a phenomenal leader, 1 meaning you're not having assumed the role of leadership at all. Rate yourself in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10. A couple quick announcements before we get the show underway. Ladies and gentlemen, Labor Day is coming, and we've got a wonderful Labor Day special for you. Our good friends over at the Black Biz Success app. For those of you who do not know, it's the all-in-one sales and marketing system designed with Black entrepreneurs in mind. And from what I understand, they're putting together a wonderful Labor Day special that's going to allow you to try one of their biggest and most effective sales and marketing plans for less than $30. So y'all be on the lookout for that. If you need a sales and marketing system in your business where you're going to get a business phone number, you're going to get SMS text messaging, you're going to get website builders and funnel builders and a CRM and pipelines and calendar booking apps. If you need something like that, comment system in the comments, because this special is something that they've never done before. So I'm excited to be able to partner with them and introduce that to you guys. Also, our brand new Google My Business training guide is available, guys, for less than $10. You can get all the training that you need to take your Google My Business profile to the next level. Now, some of you guys may not be aware of what a Google profile is. Well, Google is committed to local businesses, and they want you to be found more in the search engines when people are searching for opportunities to spend money, products and services. But you have to have your profile not only claimed, but optimized. So this training guide for $10 will show you how to do it. That link is in the show notes and the comments. So check that out. And optimize your Google My Business profile. If you don't have a Google My Business profile set up, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot. I know as Black entrepreneurs, sometimes we are some of the last to come around to some of the technology that's available to help us grow and scale our businesses. And I don't want us to be in that position, ladies and gentlemen. So grab your guide. It's $10. The link is in the show notes and the comments, and check that out. Also, we've got a free Facebook group that's talking about these very things on a weekly basis, right? It's a great place to network. That link is in the show notes and the comments as well. It is Local Biz Marketing Mastermind. It's the name of the group. If you're not listening to us on Facebook and you want to go search that group, Local Biz Marketing Mastermind, right here on Facebook, make sure you check that out. And everybody who joins that group gets access to our free ultimate online marketing checklist to help you and your marketing team optimize your online presence, even if you do not hire the Local Biz Marketing pros. So let's get this show underway, man. Y'all know how we do it right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Every episode, we start the show with a quote of the day. And this quote punched me in the gut this morning. I heard Les Brown say, "There is no secret to success. There is a system to success." Oh, I'm going to let that marinate on y'all for a minute. There is no secret to success. There is a system to success. And I guess if we are going to force ourselves to find some sort of secret, then I guess the secret is to unlock the system. The secret is in discovering the system. And once you discover that system for success, right, it's not an incredibly difficult system or formula to understand. It starts with your mindset. It starts with your belief that you can succeed in the first place. It starts with surrounding yourself with the right people who are going to cheer you on your way to success. It starts with understanding that failure is part of the system of success. That's right. You try something, you fail, you evaluate that failure, you make adjustments, and you try again. That is the formula. And you keep doing that until you win. Period. Like, end of story, right? In every area of your life, you make an attempt to succeed at something. You're going to bump your head. You're going to fall. You're going to fail. You're not going to succeed on the first attempt, sometimes not the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. But from every attempt and every failure, you must evaluate that failure so that you can make micro adjustments and attempt and try again, right? You guys know that I'm a big basketball guy. And I remember my two sons, my younger two sons play basketball the most, right? And my baby boy is the most naturally talented basketball player in the family. Like, I didn't have to teach him much of anything. When he picked up a ball, it was just smooth, everything. In fact, we nicknamed him Smooth because everything that he did was just smooth. It just came natural. It didn't work very hard at all, right? To his detriment later on in his career. But his brother, just a little older than him, just couldn't understand how his baby brother could shoot so much better. So he worked and he worked and he worked and he worked. And eventually his hard work, because he put in more repetitions, because he had more failures along the way, he ultimately became a better shooter, right? He was always a better athlete, but he wasn't the best natural ball player. And now I'm proud to say that he's on scholarship at Rockhurst University, a Division II school. Walked on as a 5'8" kid off the streets and earned him a scholarship, right? Because he put in the work, the repetitions. He would try and he failed. He said, Dad, this shot, it's almost there. I tweaked this today, Dad, and it went down a little bit more consistently. I tweaked that, right? That's what success systems are all about. Understand the mindset, understand surrounding yourself with the right people, understand that failure is part of the equation, understand that you gotta put in the reps, people. And when you fail, you don't give up, you don't quit, you make adjustments from analyzing those failures and you try again and again and again and again. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the quote of the day. If you got a favorite quote that you like to share and you want us to break that down, then by all means, please share that quote with us as well. And today's quote of the day is brought to you by our good friends over at the Black Bear Success app. It is the all-in-one sales and marketing solution designed with Black entrepreneurs in mind. Make sure you check out blackbearsuccess.com. They have some wonderful tools and resources to help you grow and scale your business. And they're all affordable. blackbearsuccess.com. So now let's dive into our 3 foundational elements of leadership. As you guys know, we started a series on this book right here. This is one of my favorite books on leadership. As you can see, it's a little ratted, it's a little tattered, but that's okay. I'm going to keep reading it. I'm going to keep it as a resource and keep going back to it, because I know that my family only goes as far as my ability to lead them. I'm gonna say that again, because some of us are not willing to take the responsibility and say that out loud. My family, I don't know about your family, but my family will only go as far as my ability and willingness to lead them. And right now, I am not satisfied where we are as a family. I said it. I am not satisfied where we are as a family. Why? Because of not the efforts that we have put in to get here, not that I am ungrateful that we are all still here, we're all still alive and kicking, we are all working jobs and in our right minds. I'm not. It's not that I'm not grateful, and sometimes we get stuck on, hey, if I say that I'm not happy with where I am, that's a sign of not being grateful. No, that's not. That's a sign that you recognize that there's greater on the inside of you. And to this point, you have yet to fulfill the highest potential that you have on the inside of you. That's all I'm saying with my family. My family has come a long way. My family is what we expect all of our families to be, that we have stepped up from the previous generation, right? We're doing some amazing things, but I can say without fear of judgment that my ability and willingness to lead this family has gotten us to where we are today. And I am not satisfied, because I could have been a better leader. I should have been a better leader. I should have focused a little bit more on my leadership skills, right? But I didn't. But that's why I'm focused on them now. So this book is by Randy Slechta and Paul J. Meyer. And it's amazing work on leadership. Leaders should lead with one purpose in mind: to achieve increasingly positive results from the efforts of their team members. Many leaders, unfortunately, see trust, commitment, and loyalty as byproducts of success rather than the causes of success that they really are. The truth is that these qualities are developed in team members as a response to certain values already held by their leader, not as a result of an increased productivity. So, what values precede productivity when it comes to leadership, right? There are 3 foundational elements of leadership. Highly effective leaders base their leadership on a foundation of 3 core values. Number 1, integrity. As a leader, do you have integrity? Right? If you're just tuning in, we're talking leadership. I asked everybody to comment their on a scale of 1 to 10, where would they rate their leadership skills? I'm rating mine right now at about a 4. About a 4. And I'm at a 4 primarily because I have the willingness and desire to be a better leader, but I need to skill up, right? How many of you guys need to skill up in the area of your leadership? Don't be ashamed to say it, man. One of the biggest challenges that a lot of people have in pursuing success of any kind is their unwillingness to admit honestly where they are. You got to stop lying to your GPS. The reason some of us will never get to where we want to be is because we're lying to our GPS. See, the GPS needs to know exactly where you are right now in order to map out the most efficient route to get you where you want to be. But if you're not willing to take a good hard look at yourself and admit exactly where you are, the GPS is going to continue to map out routes that won't work for you. So I can admit that right now, when it comes to leadership, I'm about a 4. That's why I'm studying leadership. That's why I'm reading Brendan Burchard's High Performance Habits. I know where I am. I know where I want to go, and I know that there's a big gap between the two. So I'm trying to close that gap, right? So 3 foundational principles or elements of leadership: integrity, a servant's heart, and stewardship. These are critical for growth in any organization and are what cause good, productive teams. Leaders who want trust, commitment, and loyalty from their team members must first develop these qualities themselves. So before I look at my sons, before I look at my wife, before I look at those I'm trying to lead, my staff, my team, my strategic partners, the first thing I got to do is make sure that I'm developing in myself integrity, in myself a servant's heart, in myself stewardship. Because out of those things come trust, commitment, and loyalty from my team. They understand that integrity creates the effect or trust of trust. A servant's heart generates commitment to the leader and the organization, and stewardship ensures team members develop to their full potential, which fosters loyalty. It's simple, y'all. Now, we are not naive enough to confuse simplicity with ease. No, we ain't that crazy, right? We don't confuse simplicity with ease, but it is simple. And we really have to just take our time and understand a few key things. That's all it's about. Taking our time and understanding a few key things. They also understand that no leader can convince team members to become something the leader is not. Interesting. Now, that to me is a gut punch, because for the last 8 years, I have been on the road to, hey, I'm building something amazing and I want to bring you guys along with me as I'm building it, right? That has been my ambition, right? But sometimes you got to stop worrying about bringing people along with you, and you just got to flat out build it. And then they will jump on board after it's built. Huh? What? Wait. Yeah. See, sometimes people don't want to come along with you on the journey because they're not quite sure that you know what you're doing when it comes to building whatever it is that you're building. They want to see it built first, and then they want you to tell them how you built it. All right. Well, let me take a step back. Let me stop worrying about those who are coming along the journey with me, and let me just put my head down and start building. Then I can come back and tell them how I did it. So we're going to continue our study of these three foundational elements and how important they are for developing trust, commitment, and loyalty in your team. You've got to have these three foundational elements. But before we can move forward, y'all know what time it is. It's time for 1 Minute Motivation. If you're new to the Cortez Hustle Show, every episode we do a segment called 1 Minute Motivation. That's where we play a short motivational clip, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And I'm going to ask that you comment your takeaways for those of you who are checking us out live. And if you're in position, go ahead and comment a takeaway or two. And then I'm going to give you a couple takeaways as well. So let's get into 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
You cannot think about life and say, well, what if I make the wrong decision? What if this doesn't work out? What if it does? And that's what I want to remind you. And what if it actually does not work out? You even have to embrace that too. What if I start this and it just runs to the ground? But then could it be that through that, there is a wisdom that I would receive that would actually be what I needed to manifest what God has called me to do?
Whatever your failure has been in the past, don't let that stop the dream that God gave you in your heart. If you once had big dreams, but you've now, because of time or setback or failure, you've become discouraged about whether or not that dream is ever going to be realized, dream again. Re-engage that dream. God says, my gifts and my callings on your life are irrevocable. God has not changed his mind. You may have, but he hasn't. And the value of your dream is what you're willing to pay for it.
You have to learn to start where you are. Big doors swing on little hinges. The Bible said in Zechariah 4, despise not the day of small beginnings. And so many people say, when I get a big break, when a big door opens, when somebody notices me, when somebody sees my talent and really invests in me, when somebody gives me that big break. But that is not the key to success. The key to success is to start where you are. Right where you are, not when things get better, not if things were different, not if you had what somebody else has, but start where you are.
Hoo-wee. Listen, man, listen. So many people are waiting on perfect timing. There is no perfect timing, y'all. There is no such thing as perfect timing. Oh, when the kids get a little older, I'm going to start. When they graduate from school, I'm going to start. When they go to school, I'm going to start. Oh, when, my hours change, when I go from first shift to second shift, I'm going to start. When I go from second shift back to first shift, I'm going to start. Like, there's always going to be a reason to not start, right? In fact, Jim Rohn is famous for teaching on the principle that the reason that people don't do the things that other people do that causes them success is because as easy as it is to do the things that can lead to an amazing amount of success in your life, it's easier not to. Yeah, it's easy when you discipline yourself to get up at 4:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, whatever that extra time it is that you need. It's easy to do that, but it's easier not to. And most people are allowing easier to stop them. He said, the value of your dream is what you're willing to pay for it. How much are you willing to pay for your dream? How much are you willing to put into that goal, into that thing that you say you want? How much are you willing to sacrifice or give up to have that thing that you say you want? Not what somebody else says they want. My wife didn't say she wanted $1 billion international media conglomerate. I said I wanted that. My wife didn't say she wanted a marketing agency that we're going to build up to 7 figures and then sell for a 10x multiple. She didn't say that. I said that. So the question isn't what is she willing to commit to make that happen? She didn't say she wanted that. The question is, what am I willing to commit to make that happen? Right? Don't let your past failures stop you from pursuing your future endeavors. No, use your past failures as benchmarks. You've learned what not to do. You learn how not to approach a certain project or task. But don't let that stop you. You know why a past failure would never stop me? Ever, ever, ever? Because I'm not the same dude that I was at the time that I made that past failure. I'm not the same dude. I'm not even the same dude I was yesterday. So I can look back on my life and look at 20 years ago when my wife and I were flipping houses, and it didn't work out, and the economy changed, and we had to switch things up, and ultimately we put that business down. I can look back and say, oh, well, Cortez, you tried a business 20 years ago and it didn't work. So why would you think this business in 2022 is going to work? Because the Cortez that I was at 28 years old is a different Cortez than I am at 48 years old. They're two totally different people. So even if you tried and failed something last week, the person that you were last week, you're not that person today, in part because of that failure. See, I'm a huge Myron Golden fan. And the reason I'm a huge Myron Golden fan, because he is literally allowing God's word to become his flesh. He teaches biblically sound business principles, right? And he talks about the fact that all work works. And when he says all work works, he means there's a scripture in the Bible that says no work goes without profit, right? So sometimes we say, my business failed because it didn't make any money. Yes, it did not make any money, but the reason all work works is because even when things fail, it's working on you. You learned something. You grew a little bit. So all things work. And most of the time, you have to stick with them long enough to work on you to become the person you need to become in order for that thing to work for you. Wait, what? Yeah, see, I've been in this digital marketing game for about 10 years now. And I'm really excited about, our business is rapidly approaching 5 figures in monthly recurring revenue, a first for me in business, right? I'm excited about that. But it took 10 years for the business to work on me to become the person that's capable of allowing the business to work for me. And I can only imagine what it would be like if I had quit 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. It would have never worked on me. I would have never grown into the person that I am today because of the failures, the bumps, the bruises, the trials, the tribulations, right? I would have not grown into the man that I am to recognize with full self-awareness that, hey, the difference between where you are today and where you want to be is your ability to lead your family. So now let's start studying leadership. But I never get to that point if I didn't go through the ups and downs of trying to build this business and sticking with it long enough for it to work on me. And then eventually it works for me. Stop wondering what happens if it doesn't work. Start wondering what happens if it does work. And then understand, if it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean it didn't work. All work works. So you guys got a couple comments that you want to leave on this, I'd be happy to read them at a later time. But that's going to wrap up 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by the Local Biz Marketing Mastermind. It's a free Facebook group for small local business owners who are looking for that community, that connection, looking for help with their marketing, looking for help with operations, looking for help just sometimes with some encouragement, a positive word, looking for that business bestie to help you through some of the challenges that you're going to face as an entrepreneur. Go to facebook.com/groups/local biz marketing mastermind and join the group. It's 100% free. I try my best to post at least one piece of content in there every day. I'm going to start a weekly video series in that group as well to teach a principle of marketing, growth, bringing in some great business and business owners and entrepreneurs to share some of their insights with you guys as well. So be sure to join that group if you need a community of entrepreneurs to connect with. So we're talking leadership, right? 3 foundational elements of leadership. All right. The lack of leadership, right? Is it fair to say that all the challenges we face today stem from lack of effective leadership? I believe so. So good leaders understand that no leader can convince team members to become something that the leader is not. The empowerment of individual team members can only happen when leaders display integrity, a servant's heart, and stewardship. A value-driven organization will not only bridge the gap, but it will be a leader in today's global economy where greater quality at lower cost is most important. It is the intangible values that makes all of the difference. So let's look at each one of these components really quickly. Integrity. All great leaders display personal integrity by being dedicated to the pursuit of significant goals in all areas of life, not just goals for the organization. They lead well-balanced and well-rounded lives and offer their followers an opportunity to do as they do, not just as they say. This is integrity at its core. Where are you when it comes to integrity, right? Leaders are required to be individuals worthy of loyalty and genuine respect among those they lead. Leaders at every level cannot expect followers to do better unless leaders themselves are willing to improve. One of the reasons that I'm driven to be so consistent is because I know that one day my children will be able to look back and see that was a major contributing factor to the success of the empire that we're building. And I want them to be able to pick that up and see that, man, Dad was consistent. If he wasn't anything else, he showed up, right? That's important. Integrity is relatively simple to manage. It requires personal purpose and direction and balanced goals in all 6 areas of life. That's it. You have balanced goals in all 6 areas of life. And do you have purpose and direction? And are you given 120 towards the pursuit of those things every day? Right? When leaders are motivated by their personal integrity, they are better able to help team members perceive possibilities, develop pathways to success, and follow through to ultimate achievement. They're able to ensure that working conditions are structured to develop and maintain positive, productive attitudes and habits for their team members. They readily accept the responsibility for motivating others to use more of their full potential for success. They accept and internalize the responsibility for motivating themselves. They understand It is their responsibility to help others strive to bring out the best in themselves. It starts with you as the leader. For me and my family, it's starting with me. I've got to be better. It takes a big man to put his ego in his back pocket and take the full responsibility and the weight of moving the family to the next level. But that's where I am. It's all on me, right? The Apostle Paul says in the Bible that we are all gods under the Most High God. If I'm a God under God, that means I am a creator like God. What does God create? God creates worlds. God creates universes. That means if I create like God, then I create micro worlds. I create micro universes. And if my universe and my world is upside down, then I've got to take full responsibility for that. And I'm not saying that my universe is upside down. I've got a great family. They're all striving to do some great things. I just know we are not living up to our fullest potential. I got a son that sings like nobody's business. And as great as he sings now, I know he is only scratching the surface of what he has the potential to do as a vocalist and a songwriter. Now, it is my job as his leader to get the most out of him. If I go back to just this right here, I have to ensure the right conditions that are structured to maintain positive, productive attitudes and habits. I have to readily accept it's my responsibility to motivate others, him in particularly, to use more of their full potential for success. I have to accept and internalize my responsibility for motivating myself. I have to understand that it is my responsibility to help others strive to bring out the best in themselves. Wait, what? Yeah, it's on me. It's on me. As a leader and role model, your integrity is measured by two compelling standards: an understanding of the long-term consequences and whether your endeavor creates benefit or not. In the final analysis, personal and professional integrity is easily measured by the leader's passion for achievement and by the leader's definition of success. Foundational element number 2, a servant's heart. A servant's heart. Successful people in all walks of life share a common goal: to serve others. Leaders who lack the heart of a servant may enjoy temporary success, but they soon become disillusioned. Highly effective leaders, on the other hand, succeed precisely because they are eager to serve others. They need no substitute value or idea to gain success. Where are you in the service to other people? Do you have a servant's heart? Are you willing to serve other people? At the organizational level, having a servant's heart will enable leaders to coach, empower, and persuade those who follow. Without a servant's heart, such efforts will be mistrusted and less than effective. With the global business climate shifting away from production of goods and towards a service orientation, leaders who respond to challenges with the heart of a servant actually empower their organizations to grow and prosper. What team members actually do is what determines the success of an organization. Leaders are finding that having a servant's heart produces unusual benefits. They are continually excited by what they do. They are always full of enthusiasm and the results their customers and team members achieve. They look forward to each new day with great anticipation. They are always striving to build an active organization. They are always surrounded by positive, productive team members. Leaders who possess a servant's heart are givers rather than takers. They are value driven and performance oriented. They have their position in the organization precisely because they can live without it. Wait, what? Some leaders can't live without that title. They can't live without that position. Now you got to go get the book yourself. It goes on to talk about how J.C. Penney built one of the greatest retail outlets, but we don't have time to go into that. Business and team members just naturally go where they feel welcome, and they will stay where they are appreciated. Having developed a servant's heart, successful leaders tend to genuinely care about other people, have a strong desire to serve, believe in what they are doing, like what they are doing, pay attention to details, both small and large, continually learn, possess character, integrity, and honesty, make working with them a pleasure, treat each customer and team member as someone special, do more than they are paid for doing, celebrate their team members' innate potential for success. Man, this is good stuff. I hope y'all are getting value. In fact, if you are, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube. Hit that follow button if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you're listening at. Then show your support by using whatever metrics that the platform allows. And especially if you're listening live on the podcasting platforms, leave us a review as well. That's incredibly important for our growth as a podcast. Foundational element number 3, stewardship, right? This is where you got to understand how to take responsibility, man. Leaders who are servants develop a sense of responsibility, stewardship over certain resources and assets. Stewardship becomes evident at a number of levels depending on the maturity of the leader. The leader who is also a steward places emphasis not just on the bottom line, but also on the invaluable, intangible assets of an organization. The collective talent of the team is recognized as the core of human essence of the company or organization. True stewardship acknowledges human potential as the organization's most important asset, which means people come first. One of the things that I recognize as the pandemic progressed, right? I just sat back and watched as some companies really showed their true colors, right? In terms of forcing people to come back early, forcing people to work in close quarters. And I'm like, do you really, either you don't believe that the COVID-19 virus is what we're being told that it is, or you just don't care about your employees. And I'm not talking about essential workers who had very little choice in the matter but to show up and be there for society. I'm talking about organizations who sent their employees home to work from home and turned out to be more productive while their employees were at home than when those employees were at work. Why would you rush those employees back into society to get out in traffic, to get out and commute and run the risk of getting sick? Did you not really care about those people? Right? So that really has helped me to understand how to structure a business in a way that if something like that were to happen, you could still love on your people without losing market share and market value, and really take certain things into consideration, right? Now, I know that a lot of companies were not prepared for this, but at the end of the day, they also got bailed out. They got wages replaced, and they got tons and tons and tons of money through PPP and all kinds of other things to make up for any losses. So again, did you just not care for your people that you rushed them back out into, come back to the offices and that kind of stuff? So leaders cannot become truly effective and are never really committed until they are able to put the welfare of their team members ahead of themselves, their profits, and their own personal interests. Man, I want to become that kind of leader. And by the way, I am not in any means saying that any of this stuff is easy. I'm just saying, in order to be an effective leader, these are the things that you have to do. And I'm always thinking to the future. While the reason that they wouldn't come easy to me is because I haven't been trained in them. I haven't studied them. I haven't lived them and walked them out long enough. But imagine had I studied these leadership principles when my children were young, and I instilled these very leadership principles in them so that they began to walk them out in elementary school, in middle school, and high school. How much easier would it be for them to execute on these things today if I was upon it? So now I'm getting ready, right? I don't have any grandchildren yet, but I'm starting to see that, wow, there's certain principles that should have been put in my children when they were young. Now I have my oldest son to be 30 next month. My youngest will be 21. Now, luckily for them, I can help them start to make some changes and live off some different principles at 30 that I didn't pick up till I was 45. So they're getting a 15-year head start from my oldest, a 20-year head start from my youngest, right? And then if I catch them now and they start walking in some of these things before they start having children, it will just be a way of life for them, and their children will literally be able to see this on display. And y'all know that kids pick up more than they're ever taught, right? You don't have to teach a kid every word in the English language. You just have to put them around people who are speaking English all day, and they pick up more than they're taught. So when I get these principles in my son and they start having kids and they're walking in these principles, my grandchildren will see these principles on display 24/7. Right? 3 partnership levels of stewardship. First is the attitude level, in which the leader can effect a positive impact on the team members' habits of thought. Most popular leadership fads and styles miss this level completely, focusing instead on goal-directed activity partnerships or skill-building partnerships. The omission of this omission is a huge mistake. Unless team members' attitudes remain consistently positive and productive, efforts towards reaching goals and building skills will create little impact. Effective leaders form attitude partnerships by demonstrating empathy and concern for their team. The second partnership level of stewardship is belief level, where effective leaders merge curiosity, knowledge, and interest. True to their formation, they hold a deep and abiding belief in every team member, belief in their ability to do their job well, and belief in their potential for even greater accomplishment. It's quite difficult for leaders to lack belief in their team members when they are interested in their team members' lives. Yeah, this is where you got to show up and you got to take interest, right? And then the third level, partnership level of leadership is mutual acceptance level, where team members are accepted as they are with their human faults and failings. At each of these levels, team members will not be too willing to accept, much less emulate someone who requires them to change first. Effective leaders understand they must be the first to change before they can expect others to change. It's that simple, y'all. You got to become something and someone different if you want to make an impact and lead others. And I hope that my family is watching me become this leader, right? Become different. Let me see what else we have before I want to get us to a good stopping point. All right. Values as a critical foundation. By developing the values of integrity, a servant's heart, and stewardship, leaders will achieve more of their own goals than they would by putting their personal concerns and needs ahead of values and principles. Leaders who desire fame find it by helping to promote and develop others. Wait, if I want fame, then I should focus on helping others become famous. Leaders who want to earn money find it when they sincerely serve others. The more people you serve, the more money you have the potential to make. Leaders who want friends find them when they have the integrity necessary to be a friend to others. Right? It's a biblical principle. Those that want friends must show themselves friendly. Right? Leaders who want love find it by loving others. Simple. Leaders that desire a sense of achievement are stewards of human potential dedicated to helping others succeed. You want to achieve something? Help other people win. Help other people win. When extraordinary leaders develop a servant's heart, they find a unique synergy that springs from their sincerity. The more they give, the more they have to give. The more they serve, the more they are able to serve. And when aspiring leaders strive to become stewards of human potential, they begin to achieve their own personal goals while making a unique contribution to the lives of their team. In the end, you are the only one who can decide whether to adopt the attitudes and values conducive to highly effective leadership or whether to try to become successful without that critical foundation. So when you think about it, leadership is all about having a solid foundation, and that foundation is all about integrity, a servant's heart, and what was the third one? Stewardship. Integrity, a servant's heart, and stewardship. So we're going to get back at this on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. As Wednesday, we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence for entrepreneurs, right? One of the things that I am a huge proponent of is the care of our mental faculties. As someone who has, at one point in my life, literally lost my mind, I want to be an advocate for those who need help in the area of mental health to feel comfortable seeking that help. And I want to help remove the negative stigma. And I know as entrepreneurs, we certainly go through a lot of stresses, a lot of mental torment, sometimes from people who say they love us, right? And you got to know how to deal with that. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday. And then we'll pick up our leadership series on Thursday. So as always, man, do me a favor, hit that share button if you haven't already. Tag 2 or 3 people in this that you know could stand to become better, or not that you know, because as they say, unsolicited advice is criticism. Tag 2 or 3 people that you know are seeking to become better leaders. And that way, you sharing this with them won't be considered criticism or some sort of insult. If you know that they're looking to become better leaders, then tag them in this, share this on your timeline. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, follow the page, follow the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you check out blackbizsuccess.com and localbizmarketingpros.com if you're looking for tools and resources to grow your business. Blackbizsuccess.com is the place for you to go. If you're looking for a great marketing service partner and you want some done for you services, you want us to build some websites for you, some assets, then that's what Local Biz Marketing Pros can do for you. We offer a free marketing strategy session for any and everybody who is serious. If you go to localbizmarketingpros.com, you will see the option to book a call with us right at the top of the page. So as always, man, I appreciate all of the support. Until I talk to you guys on Wednesday, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. And hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.